Yes, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, Tankers of Blitz Universe to the channel. There is a new tank in the premium shop and it's this one, Loza's Sherman. An M4A2 Sherman tank with the vertical fluid spring suspension, and it's a Russian one. Because they downplayed the role a bit, the Russians. They did get quite some help from the British Army and the American Army in terms of Lend-Lease tanks. Of course, those number of tanks, they were not up to the monumental number of tanks they made themselves with the T-34, but they did get tanks like the Valentine, the Matilda, the M3 Lee and also the M4 Sherman series. How does this tank differ from the Fury in the game? And how does it not? Well, I'm going to show you the full statistics and the comparison because there are some differences and of course some key similarities as well. But in real life this tank was a diesel engined tank. The M4 and the M4A1 were petrol driven, so was the M4A3 that had the Ford GAA engine, the preferred engine of the US Army. And the M4A4, aka Sherman 5, was a multi-bank engine, which was basically, I think, 5 bus engines packed together to make one big engine. And the British and the American Army didn't really want to drive the M4A2 because it was a diesel engined tank and they wanted to standardize on petrol engined tanks because of fuel and logistics, etc. But the Russians, they liked the M4A2 because the tank was far roomier than the T-34. It had a bigger hull, it had a fully rotatable turret, the gun was good enough to handle, and it had a diesel engine, which was a good thing to have on the cold circumstances on the Russian front. So they may try to make it look in official histories that the American tanks were crap. In fact, they were not that bad at all. The Lee was a bad one, great for Seven Brothers because it was a really big tank and it didn't have a fully rotatable turret. So you could argue in a way that in real life the M3 Lee was just as bad as it is in Blitz. But this tank, well, this is pretty good actually. In Blitz, Loza Sherman, the M4A2 Sherman, it holds no secrets for anybody who has driven the Fury, who has driven the regular M4A3 Easy 8, who has driven maybe even the Firefly. It is just not a tank that holds any secrets. It is your typical American tank that can do a lot of good things, but that can also do a few things not quite so much. It has got good gun depression. It has a good gun. It is not a DPM machine. It moves around the battlefield fairly quickly. It earns you some, well, goodish credits, but yeah, it is of course a tier 6 premium tank and not a tier 8, so don't rely on this one as your premium credit grinder. But I want to have one. Why do I want one? It's a Sherman. That's all there is to it. It's a Sherman. And I want this one in the garage. I like the Fury. I'm gonna like this one as well because, like I said, it's a Sherman. Well, there are a few things I want to discuss with you before I will give my verdict if you should buy the tank or not, because I'm going to give you that at the end of the video. I got 2 more games for you to show. I will dive into the stats and numbers as well on Loza's Sherman. But first, I want to discuss something else. Take a look over here. Actually, at the credits, I forgot to switch off the gold. I'm paying premium gold for premium now, but hey, that's a different thing. Take a look at this. This is Loza Sherman as it appears in your garage straight away. And you might think, well, that's looking pretty darn good. It actually is looking pretty good. It has a machine gun at the back. There's a little jerry can over there. Corrugated iron for the blanket holder at the back. Some little bits of shipping stencils on the left and the right hand side of the hull. Good numbers on the turret actually. And I love those fuel stains, those diesel stains down the side. Yeah, there they are. And if you then take a look at the real tank, then you can see that Wargaming have done quite a good job at replicating Dmitry Fedorovich Loza's tank. And this is actually Loza's tank in Vienna. He was the first tanker to arrive in the capital of Austria. And this is Loza's tank in the game. And you might think, right, camouflage. No, it doesn't have camouflage fitted. It looks like it has, but you can't fit any other scheme over that one. And I think it's a bit of a strange omission by Wargaming. Let's get a quick look then on the statistics of Loza Sherman versus the other tier 6 premium medium tanks. And I find it to be funny actually to see that the exact same gun on a tank, which is Russian, gets just a slightly better rate of fire. Not a lot, but ever so slightly better. It also has better aim time, which is strange because it's the same turret. It also has better dispersion, but it has less gun depression. Puzzling for me completely, because it's the same tank. The same turret, same tank, the hull is different, but that's basically just the engine, the powertrain and the suspension. And speaking of the suspension, the tank has a it has a smaller engine but a higher top speed. It has a less effective power to weight ratio, and it has worse no mod traverse. But if you then look in game, the Fury actually has a worse traverse on its tracks compared to Loza Sherman. So puzzling. I would have thought that the A2 with vertical flute spring suspension would have had worse traverse than the Fury with the wider tracks, but well, that could probably just be me. I'm mostly puzzled at seeing the gun change that much, but that might be that it is a Russian tank. And then, speaking of Russian tanks, I actually said I had 3 games for you. I was mistaken, I have 2 of them. This one is on dead row, as you can see, and I'm in a fairly mobile tier 6 medium tank. And take a look at what tank is going to beat me completely to being at a really good spot on dead row, and not just by a small margin, but a fairly big margin. Hello, KV1S. You probably use the speed boost, but I mean, how does a KV1S get that quick into a position where I would be to spot? I mean, I'm a medium, he's a heavy. Yeah, that's one of the main problems maybe with this tank at the tier that it is. It sees tier 5, 6 and 7. It will see Draculas and a Lupus and things like a Helsing, etc. and SU 100, and it is. You can counter those, but is this a good buy for new players? I think the Schmaltun from the recent event was the best one to get. Great tank to have as a free premium tank. There are other good tanks that you could get as a first premium, but as far as tanks go, this one, well, it's not a bad one. It does a lot of things good. It will teach you how to use mobility. It will teach you how to work the ridge lines, how to go hull down, and for what it's worth, it's not a bad price either. I think in the shop, from what I know now, by the time it gets in the shop, it could be different. But I think there's a big package of just above 8k gold and just a tank for 7k. It's a bit expensive for a tier 6 premium tank, but then again, I mean, it's digital stuff anyways. I think it is goodish value for money. I don't think it will be back very soon after this offer expires in the shop, but other than that, well, it's not a bad tank to have. I would recommend it if you are looking for just a good medium tank that you can use to train crews, train your skills and experience on the map, of using mobility, of taking a look around, etc. I'm being very cautious here because the KV2 is still in the back, and I'm not quite sure what that KV1S is doing. All right, he's not looking my way. I can shoot him through the turret then, and I'm just gonna sit here and see, take a look at what the Anko is doing. Right, he's getting shot. Can I get shots in? I can get a shot in on the M4. There we go. Billy Bad Teeth. Go to the bathroom and brush. Like, we can shoot the Leopard as well. And now it's just a matter of time to keep shooting him and then hopefully clear that KV2. It's probably around spawn 2 somewhere. But if a KV2 is in a spot like that, he's probably not the most skilled and experienced player. And the Panzer Anko is making an epic play. So shout out to you, _Yusuf_45. You played really well, mate. You flanked. You're being cautious over here. I think you are pretty much full health. I'm spotting now and I can see the KV2 turning his turret my way. That's all well and good. As long as he's facing me, he's not trying to shoot my teammate. And well, I have to bet the crew probably, but if he got lucky and then killed the ankle and then got a lucky shot on me, we would have lost this one. So I'm just waiting for him to go backwards again just a little bit. I can shoot through the bush now and through the tree as well, and he's now above 250 meters. He will never be able to spot me. I'm swapping to AP shot to get that last kill, and we do get him with a lovely little blind shot. 3 kills for me, 3 kills for _Yusuf_45. Big shout out to you, buddy, and a well-deserved ace for you. I'm not going to show that in the video here, but you did get a whopping ace and a leverage Leishlosh thingy as well for killing 2 tanks a tier higher in a medium tank. So that's the video for today. Loza Sherman. I'm going to get it because it's a Sherman. If you want to get it, well, buy it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of this universe, for watching. My name is martindogger, and I see you all on the next video. Cheers and happy tanking!